Well, after some technical difficulties, I am back here on Maple Leafs Media, and shout out to everyone in the comments section who's been waiting here since 9 p.m. You guys are the best. So let's make the most out of this shortened, condensed pregame show, and let's get right into it. As you all know, I'm your guy Jake. Leave your questions, comments, concerns, whatever in the comments section, and let's have a good show. Let's go right up to game time. Let's start off with this. We're just going to dive right into the statistics. I got a bunch of stats here. Toronto and Vancouver are both 52.4% in the faceoff circle, so tied for 8th in the NHL. This is it's going to be closely contested in the faceoff circle, but outside of that, I expect the Toronto Maple Leafs to come out here and dominate like they have been for the past few games. I want to see what everyone else in the comments section thinks here. Glad to see we have something to fight about. Yeah, I mean, the Toronto Maple Leafs, I think they should be able to handle this victory. I think they should be able to get this W tonight, but I'm pretty confident that we will. Let's see everyone's score predictions. Let's start off with that, actually. Let's get your score predictions, everyone. My score prediction, personally, I've got the Maple Leafs taking this game by a landslide. 7-2. That's right, 7-2 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Vancouver Canucks are allowing the 29th, they're allowing 3.46 goals against per game. That is horrible. Braden Holtby has a 3.56 goals against average this season. I'm going to say the Maple Leafs take this 7-2, and that's really predicting that the Maple Leafs win by a landslide, but that's my prediction. Let's see what everyone in the comments here say. I did not get to eat a pregame dinner tonight. I'll have to have something during the game. Jake Ozzy says 5-1 Leafs. Miles Tech going out on a limb saying the Leafs lose 5-4. 7-1, 4-0, 6-2, 5-1. William Bennett, so close. His prediction is 7-1. I got to go with 7-2 here. I think the Toronto Maple Leafs, they've been performing, they've been superb defensively, and I'm expecting an offensive outpour against the Vancouver Canucks. But I don't really know. I don't have much confidence in the Vancouver Canucks. Not at all. JB says it's our third game in 4 nights. It is our third game in 4 nights. We've got a pretty compact schedule right now, and then coming up in the near future, we'll have a period where we have just 5 games in 14 days, a nice time to rest up, and maybe make trades as you would all like to see. You heard Elliot Friedman on the broadcast yesterday mention that. Hockey Kid says 7-1 for the Maple Leafs, I hope. See Pekka, I believe that's how you say that. 6-3 Maple Leafs. And okay, William, I guess you know what's coming next. Let's see everyone's player predictions for tonight. William Bennett says Matthews 5 points, 4 goals. Marner and Thornton get 4 points a goal apiece. That's 4-goal night for Austin Matthews. That'd be nice to see. Mitch Marner, Joe Thornton get 4 points. If Austin Matthews is getting 4 goals, I'd expect that as well. But let's see it happen. I'll give you my player predictions. Chuck Fleet says smash the like button. And yes, everybody, please smash that like button. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already. And honestly, you're all awesome. Shout out to all you who are waiting here. I know this show got started half an hour late. Technical difficulties. There's a lot of issues going on my end here, but I'll get them fixed. And no post-game show tonight, but I'll be doing something in the near future. So my player predictions, I've got two players scoring goals here. I say Brock Besser to score a goal, help out my fantasy team, and then Austin Matthews. I've got him having a hat trick here tonight. Austin Matthews, in his return last night, I thought he looked good. I had some comments yesterday saying they didn't think he looked too good in his first game back from injury. But 7 shots on goal for Matthews yesterday. He's doing some decent stuff. I'd expect him to come into this game with a mission. He wants to score. He wants to get back on track. He's still leading the league in goals, and if he wants to win the Rocket, he's gonna need to score some more goals here. Duncan says you can't take the Canucks for granted, and you can't take them for granted. They are a skilled young group, a very skilled and talented young group, but they haven't been able to piece it together for whatever reason. Their defense, they've been a mess defensively. It's been bad. Because I think that we all had higher expectations for Vancouver this year, and just they have let everyone down. Like, they have been a mess this season. Chuck Fleet's got Ilya Mikheyev and Spezza to get 2 goals tonight. Nice. I'd like that. I picked up Jason Spezza. I'm streaming Jason Spezza on one of my fantasy leagues tonight, so I'd love to see that. And Soup, he's a hard worker. He's always up. There's always a possibility Mikheyev gets a goal. A lot of people are hard on him. He doesn't score enough, is what people say. But you saw him the other night win a foot race against Connor McDavid one-on-one. He's an outstanding skater, and he does things that not many other players do on the penalty kill. He's a great player that you want to have on your team. He's Soup. He's Soup. So, speaking of my player predictions, I told you Besser to score a goal, Matthews hat trick. I think Austin Matthews is going to come out firing. But back to Besser to score a goal. Why Brock Besser to score a goal? Well, Brock Besser has gone 6 games without a goal. And that does not happen very often. Brock Besser held off the score sheet for 6 games. I'd expect him to come out firing as well. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder. And in 2021, he's almost playing at a point per game pace. Not quite. 12 goals, 13 assists, 25 points in 26 games played. Expect Brock Besser to come out here firing. I don't think it will be enough to push his team to victory, but I would not be surprised to see him net a goal tonight. Let's get to the comments here. Andrew says Kerfoot's been nice this year. Kerfoot's looking like he's getting more comfortable in this lineup. Jason Brooks, going back to the last time we saw the Vancouver Canucks here. Vintage Spezza gets a hat trick. Imagine Spezza gets 2 hat tricks this season. That would be amazing. I think Jason Spezza is one of the most underrated players in the NHL at this point in his career. He's very accomplished in his career. Hasn't won the ultimate goal of a Stanley Cup, but he's done a lot of great things. He's had a great career, and just at this point in time, like, really, when he was in Dallas, I feel as if I heard too much trash talk about Jason Spezza and not enough praise for what he does. He's a great player to have on your 3rd or 4th line at this point in time. He's due for 4 points tonight. I'm not sure who he's talking about. I believe Elias Pettersson is who he's talking about. Duncan says it's going to be a close game. The Leafs might be tired since it's back-to-back. Cannot take them lightly. And to add on to being tired because of back-to-back, you also have to factor in that they had to travel out west, even more from Edmonton to Vancouver. They're on the west coast right now, so the whole time factor thing of different time zones and then going and traveling from playing a game yesterday. Yeah, I expect the Maple Leafs to be tired, but I think that the Maple Leafs ultimately, they're going to come out firing as always, and they'll be able to overcome this adversity. I truly believe it. I keep calm and belief. This team's playing different than in years past with a bunch of togetherness. Oh, he's referring to Bo Horvat. Bo Horvat's definitely underrated. Jason Brooks says Spezza and Tavares are 7th and 5th in the NHL in the faceoff circle. And Jason Brooks, this is why when we saw John Tavares play on that first line with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, I despised that. You need to have John Tavares playing center. He is a center, and he wins a lot of faceoffs. Jason Spezza, 5th in the faceoff circle this season. That's outstanding, and he's so valuable. It goes far beyond what he does on the score sheet. Those faceoff circles are huge for gaining puck possession and limiting the possession of the other team. That's huge stuff. JB says Pearson with Tavares and Nylander, a natural left winger. So Tanner Pearson is who he's referring to from the Vancouver Canucks. And I think that JB is saying that could be a trade target. I saw somewhere earlier in the comments that we should be watching Tanner Pearson tonight. So, I mean, yeah, I like Tanner Pearson. I'm not sure what his contract situation is, but just look out for him. Look out for him. He may be on the move. He definitely could be on the move by the end of the season. So back to the statistics in this game here. Vancouver is currently allowing close to 33 shots on goal per game. And that is the reason that they are struggling so much. At least one of the reasons. When you allow 33 shots a game, your goaltender is just going to be exhausted. Whether it's Thatcher Demko or Braden Holtby, these goaltenders are going to get exhausted. And obviously, you don't need to be a mathematician to know this. The more shots on goal, the more opportunities the opponents have to score. So 33 shots on goal, that's not good. That's not good. That's the 30th in the NHL, second most in the entire league. The Vancouver Canucks, the key to win for them is limit their shots allowed, because the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're going to be firing out there tonight. Paige thinks, I think Toronto's lines are pretty good, and I love the first line. I hope Campbell and Simmons come back soon, too. And the Toronto Maple Leafs lines, I love what Sheldon Keefe has done with the line combinations. I love the third line right now with Engvall, Mikheyev, and Hyman. That third line looked stellar against Edmonton. The first line, we all know what that first line is capable of doing. And I'm starting to like the way that Tavares and Nylander are playing together more and more. So, yes, the line combinations, they are good. They're good. The Campbell and Simmons thing, Jack Campbell, I'm not sure when he's expected to come back, but Wayne Simmons probably got another 4 or 5 weeks with that broken wrist. These are guys that you'd obviously love to get back. They'd help give you a boost, but right now, Chuck Fleet says it. Says it, and I couldn't have said it any better. Hutch the clutch. Michael Hutchinson's been clutch when we need him to be. So let's just stick with him. Give Jack Campbell the time to recover. And as for the Wayne train, he'll be back. He'll be back, and his impact will be massive on this team. So more eye-popping stats from the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks, they've converted on just 17.4% of their power plays. So not even, you give the Canucks 10 power plays, not even 2 times they're going to score. That's just the way the averages work. The Vancouver Canucks on their power play, it doesn't really make sense because they've got so many good young players that can score. So I don't know what their issue is on the power play, but it needs some work because it's just they've only converted on 17.4% of it. And if you want to see how bad that really is, you compare it to a good power play. The Toronto Maple Leafs have scored on 32.5% of their power plays, and that's the second most in the NHL. The Toronto Maple Leafs power play has been lethal. There's a stretch of 2 games where it went 0-11, and those came against the Calgary Flames. Calgary Flames just did an exceptional job shutting us down on their penalty kill. But after that, the power play has been better on this road trip against the Oilers. It's starting to be effective again, and watch for this power play to be stellar as it has been all season long. There's too many There's too many great playmakers and too much talent on this power play unit for it not to succeed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Duncan Russell says, "What makes Sheldon Keefe a good coach is every player has a key role. He makes everyone play better, and a lot of the time makes obvious decisions." Yeah, so that's true. And I'm going to add to this. He's a player's coach, and he's not afraid to change things up. He's not afraid to mix up the lines if he sees that something's not working. He's not stubborn and stuck in his ways like the past coach we had, Mike Babcock. Sheldon Keefe is willing to change to make this team a better team. So, absolutely, I agree with this comment. Sheldon Keefe has done an exceptional job since coming to Toronto. I believe it was his first 15 games as the head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. No head coach has had a better start in their first 15 games, a better record after that time. Small sample size, but when Sheldon Keefe came to Toronto last year, he really helped turn that team around. It was a very streaky group, but I've loved what I've seen from Sheldon Keefe since he's come here. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. Leafs fan says this is the best start I have ever seen. I'm gonna have to look back at the Maple Leafs' past seasons to see how long ago they've had a start this good. Because I remember checking back after the first 10 games of the season, another small sample size thing, and I believe the best season they had was 2009 or 2010, and then after that they crashed. I don't see that happening this year in the North Division. But yes, this start that the Toronto Maple Leafs have had this year, it's been amazing to see transformation of the Toronto Maple Leafs. You got to give a shout out to Kyle Dubas. Love him or hate him, he did one hell of a job this offseason. I think a lot of people had a lot of resentment for Kyle Dubas, and we owe him an apology card. You can say it's a bit early for that. See what he does at the trade deadline, if anything. But he has been doing a really good job with such little wiggle room this offseason. I loved what he did with his team. So let's continue here with some comments. Everyone in the comment section, if you haven't already, make sure you drop your score predictions and your player predictions. I'll get to as many as I can here. So, comment here says, where'd it go? Bubbles says special teams, power play, penalty kill specialist in every position. It's amazing. And that's true. That's true. Think about it. Actually, think about it. So, your power play specialists, you've got Marner, you've got Matthews, that's a winger and a center. And then on defense, you got Morgan Riley and TJ Brody. The penalty kill. Right now, he's not here, but you have Wayne Simmons, Spezza, Hyman, Mikheyev. And then on defense, you have Muzzin and Hall. That's a very good comment. And the goaltenders have been doing their job as well. This team it's been built and constructed for success long term. Jason Brooks says, I like how Keefe uses a forward high up in between the two defensemen. That's a good point. Good analysis from Jason Brooks right there. That just goes to show his hockey IQ. He's spot on there. And follows it up with smash the like button If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button and hit the notification bell to be notified every time something comes on here on Maple Leafs Media. Uh, as I said, apologies for coming on here late tonight, half an hour late. Uh, Technical difficulties on my end, but I'm here and I'm making the most out of it. Toronto Maple Leafs, Vancouver Canucks tonight. Big game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, as always. Leafs fan says, imagine Leafs are on pace for 160 points in an 82 game season. That's insane. That's insane to think about. 160 points in an 82 game season. That I'm not sure what the record for points is, but that's got to be somewhere close to it. The Hockey Kid gives some predictions here. 11-1 for the Maple Leafs based off of his player predictions. Matthews to score 4 goals and 7 assists to break the 10-point. Wow. You're saying he's going to break Sittler's record here. Okay. But honest, like Hockey Kid, you've got your prediction here. Outside of this, the Hockey Kid's prediction here, I want to know, everyone in the comments section, do you think anybody is ever going to beat Daryl Sittler's record? Is anyone going to ever break that record? Because right now, with the way that the NHL is, I don't really see it happening. The closest that I've seen was Sam Gagner in recent years with 8 points, and then Draisaitl had a 6-point night this game or this season. I don't really see anyone coming close to the 10-point night, though. Does anyone actually think that Sittler's record will be in jeopardy? Because I don't really think anyone's going to break it. John Howard says, I don't think so. Hockey Kid follows it up with Matthews tonight. If that happens, you got to go buy a lottery ticket, seriously. Nevin says, no, the goalies are too good for that. And I agree with you. The pads are also bigger. The goalies are bigger. I just don't really see it happening. Andrew thinks that Matthews can do it. No one will ever break the record. Chuck Fleet. Never. Sittler's record is safe. Hope they are not peaking. Hope the Leafs are not peaking too early. That's Leaf scar tissue talking, man. That's past seasons of being let down talking. The Toronto Maple Leafs this year, I know it sounds like a typical thing to say from Maple Leafs fans, but this year seems different, doesn't it? It seems like a different year. It seems like it's different this year. The way that everyone's playing with togetherness, there's a different bond on this team. I don't think this is the case this year. I think the Toronto Maple Leafs, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and their peak is going to come later in the season, closer to the playoffs, hopefully in the playoffs, and hopefully they can make a deep playoff run this year. Back to the Sittler thing. Wayne Gretzky couldn't do it. Nope, Wayne Gretzky could not do it. Sittler record for 10 points in one game. John Howard says that's true. Goalies are good. They're too good now. They're just too big. They cover the net. The pads are bigger. The equipment's not as heavy as it was when Sittler set the record. And that's not to take anything away from Sittler, because obviously 10 points in a night, that's amazing. An amazing feat to accomplish. But I don't see it happening. I do not see that record being broken anytime soon unless NHL makes equipment changes to the goalie stuff, the goalie pads. I don't really see that happening. If it happened tonight, I'd be amazed, and it would just be you'd be in shock if the Toronto Maple Leafs did that, if Austin Matthews did that, like the Hockey Kid predicted. But I don't see it happening, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. Chuck Fleet says none of the GOATs, the greatest of all time, could do it. And Sittler's record of 6 goals, 4 assists, and 10 points in a single game, I think that's one of the safest records in hockey. I think it's definitely one of the safest records in the NHL, and I don't see it being broken anytime soon. Uh, Hockey kids, he's gonna keep saying it. It's gonna happen tonight, and I love your confidence in Austin Matthews and the Toronto Maple Leafs here tonight, but I don't see it. Jonathan Max says 99. Gretzky, if you don't know who number 99 is, had 8.28 point games in 1983 and 84. And Sam Gagner also had an 8-point night recently. Draisaitl had a 6-point night this season. So there are players that have come close, but nobody has actually gotten to the 10-point mark, and I don't think it's going to happen again, and I don't see anyone ever getting to 11 in a night with the way that the NHL has changed since then. I just do not see it happening. This is an interesting discussion that we're having, though. John Howard says Sittler was amazing. I wore 27 in my younger days, and I feel like the number 27, 17, 93. I feel like that was those were popular numbers around the Toronto area. For kids growing up playing hockey, they idolized these players: Gilmore, Clark, Sittler, and they wore the number to represent them. And of course, you would. Why wouldn't you? Mackey says the Leafs are really going to have to adjust the lines once Wayne Simmonds comes back. And you're right. You're right. Think about when Wayne Simmonds gets here. Wayne Simmonds, when he gets back, the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to have to change up some lines as well, for sure. But if I was in the situation of Sheldon Keefe, where I'd slot Wayne Simmonds back into this lineup is on the second line with William Nylander and John Tavares. That's where he was going to be playing. He started playing there against the Vancouver Canucks last time we played them, and he got injured. Broke his wrist, and that derailed him for now. But when the Wayne train gets back on track, I believe he should be placed back on that second line with William Nylander and John Tavares. You'll have two net front presences on that line with Tavares and Simmonds, and William Nylander can just be a great playmaker. He can score goals. I would love to have that line back together when Wayne Simmonds gets here. So the Leafs game it should be starting in a few minutes. It's 10 p.m. right now as we speak. So as I said, I'll put this comment back up here before I head out because Hockey Kid says, "How much do you guys want to bet that Matthews will do it tonight? That being a 10-point night. And if he does, Jake has to wear a Canadiens jersey next stream." So I don't have a Canadiens jersey readily available to me. But you know what? If Austin Matthews gets a 10-point night, I will do it. If Austin Matthews gets a 10-point night tonight, I'll do it. I don't even think the Toronto Maple Leafs will score 10 goals, but sure, Hockey Kid. I'll cut this deal with you. If Austin Matthews breaks that record tonight, I'll wear a Montreal Canadiens jersey on the next stream. Ugh, I'm gonna throw up from saying that, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm very confident in Austin Matthews' ability, but I don't think he's gonna do 10 points. I really don't see it happening. So everybody, Leafs game about to get started. So thank you for joining in on this pregame show. Once again, my apologies for getting on here late. Experienced some technical difficulties prior to this show, but I'll be back here soon. As you all know, content's always coming out on Maple Leafs Media. If you haven't already, please smash that like button and hit the notification bell. Stay safe out there and enjoy the game. Go Leafs, go! And you heard it here. If Austin Matthews breaks Daryl Sittler's record, I'll wear a Montreal Canadiens jersey on the next stream. Oh, let's stay safe, everybody. Go Leafs.